Now the exciting part. You're gonna get your car out of port, get it titled, get some plates for it, and get it on the road. I was ecstatic when I finally had the car back to my home state with plates on it, ready to go. So we've talked about a ton of paperwork up to this point, but we're almost done. The last two things that your import broker is going to help you get are the customs release and the delivery order. In a lot of these yards, there aren't just cars, at least when I went. There was freight, shipment, stuff coming in from all over the world. So this is pretty standard paperwork. When you bring something into the country, customs has to have released it. You know, you have to have bonded for it, all that stuff we talked about earlier. And there has to be a delivery order saying, yeah, somebody does plan to come pick this up. Those two things have to be done. So there's really two ways to get your car out of port once you've gotten this far. Once you've filed the last bits of paperwork, you can either drive in yourself with a TWIC card or grab an escort to drive in. And the other way you can do this is have a company go in and get your car for you. I haven't found a lot of resources that can do this across the board at different ports. So when I went through this process, I manually went into the port with a TWIC card and all of my paperwork, and I was able to pull the car up to the front and load it onto a trailer. From my personal experience, which is all I can speak to, going into the yard will save you a chunk of money. However, if you have the extra money, it can save you a lot of stress if there's a company who says, yeah, I need A, B, and C forms, I'll go in and get it for you. Come, way away from the port and grab it. But in my experience, I actually went into the port, grabbed the vehicle, and brought it out myself. When you go to pick up the car, whether it's at the port or at the yard of the company who is able to take it out for you, make sure you walk around and inspect the vehicle. Take pictures, walk around it, look for new damage, leaks, extra kilometers, anything like that. We have a checklist within the application that you can use for picking up the vehicle. And when you're doing that inspection, make sure you're comparing it to the pictures that you got pre-shipment in Japan, that there wasn't damage inbound on the Ro-Ro ship or from the company moving it or from somebody moving it off the Ro-Ro ship, anything like that. If you find any new damage or anything concerning, report it back before you sign your release form that the yard will give you or before you take possession of the vehicle from the company that has taken it out of the port for you. Once you've gotten the vehicle out of port and back to your home state, now you need to file all of the paperwork in order to get a title for the vehicle. In my home state and other areas that I've talked to individuals in, you typically need a handful of forms. I needed a commercial invoice, an export certificate, and an English translation that's certified of that export certificate. The exporter did a great job of providing me with that information. Also, bring your DOT form that you filed earlier when importing the vehicle. Also, on the export certificate, you may want to highlight a few things like GVW, kilometers, which they will ask you what it is in miles, color, things like that. They wanted that information, so I just used little sticky notes and highlighted it to make their job easier at the DOT. And that should be it. You've got your vehicle back in your home state. You've got a title that you applied for that'll come in the mail. Each state's different. I think mine took 3 to 4 weeks. I got temp plates and eventually got mailed real plates. So I walked right out of my local town hall and was able to get temp plates on my Japanese vehicle with the paperwork I just listed. At this point, you should be stoked. I was ecstatic. One thing I did right away that I would recommend you do too is take it to a mechanic that you trust, have them shake it down. These things, at this point, you probably haven't driven this car more than a few feet, kilometers maybe, and you wanna make sure that everything's okay. Give it a good shakedown, do a fresh oil change on it, check drive belts, check timing belts if it has it. Do that general check over so you know you can have some fun with this car now that you've got it landed. Thank you for using this guide. I appreciate it. I wanna help other folks do what I did. If you have any feedback, please provide it in the App Store or online to the application itself. Thank you.